What's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I will tell you what, today we are in for a treat. This is a bunk model that, quite frankly, is just so unique compared to anything else out in the industry. I am really curious to hear your guys' feedback. So this is the all-new 2026 Impression 36BR3, and that BR3 stands for bunk room, 3 bedrooms, I guess you could say. So it's a 3-bedroom-esque RV, and I wouldn't say it's a true 3-bedroom. However, there is a true three places to sleep. Sorry, I just got out of a car, 4.5 hours from Cincinnati up to here to record this and a number other of RVs. But I mean, this is it's a refreshing. It's got a really nice rear back bunk room. Well, you know what? We'll just go ahead and get into it. But I mean, TVs, you got chessboard in between the 2 rooms, just super unique. Now I'm just showing you a quick little 360 because not a lot of people make it here to the exterior of the video. But I also want to show you some of the specs because I think for something this size, the weight on this will shock you. It's 41 feet 10 inches. However, it only weighs about 11.5 dry. Now all the rest of the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, all that good stuff, I will put down in the description, assuming that I get it. Now, as of today, it's about 2 weeks prior to Hershey when I'm recording, but this should come out just before Hershey, and it will be debuted there. But if you're interested in some pre-order information, I will make sure to include a link for Funtown RV, so that way you can check this out at any one of their various locations. Pretty darn cool. So again, 2026 Impression 36BR3. And now that we got that out of the way, let's head right on into the inside. And typically I like to start in the living room, but since this is such a unique bunk room, I'm gonna head right on into there. And I'll tell you what, Impression does a really good job of being a value unit. So they're keeping prices down by taking out some things like, you know, they're not using real tile backdrops. So they kind of use the sticker style backdrop, but it looks beautiful. It's keeping down on weight. It's keeping down on cost. This is meant to be a pinkies up highfalutin unit that is not breaking the bank. And I mean, what do you guys think? I love the way that the table is. Just works out really well. You got some extra sleeping space over there. You also have kind of the L-shaped style couch. But look at this back bunk room. It is, it's crazy. You got your 2 viewing windows right there. They're going to be tinted, so that way maybe you can check in to see what the kids are doing. But also, you know, there's going to be a shade for some privacy. But this is what I'm talking about, where I say unique, unique, unique. You got 4 pull-out drawers right here, and then you have 2 separate entrances into some bunk rooms. And now I am, you know, 6 foot, 300 pounds, so I'm not exactly a small guy. I fit in this thing perfectly. You have a little bit of a reading light. You're also going to see a window on either side, you know, an emergency exit, so pull, push, and plop. I love the accent lighting here up in that rounded kind of, you know, crescent style, whatever the heck you want, whatever I don't know why I'm trying to get fancy saying crescent. I have no freaking clue what it's called, but it's rounded and it looks nice. You got a little checkers or chessboards right there for aesthetics or to get a good game, and of course a privacy curtain there with a lot of really good storage here too as well. Now it's a little hard to climb in there with one camera, but as you can see here, you got some storage here, and then you have additional storage out in the back. Now over on this side, you're also going to see you have 2 USBs, or I'm sorry, USB, Universal C, and 2 outlets, and then you flip it around, and hopefully I'm showing this well. You have a TV on each side, and the cool thing about the TV, it is going to be Bluetooth, so if they are playing some Xbox or something like that, you have the ability to pair your phone to it to get a little privacy. So that way maybe you're not both watching, you know, the exact same thing. So each room has its own. Each room also has the little halo light there too as well. And again, you got access over to the storage. Now your favorite kid will probably want to go onto that side because the access for the storage seems to be only over on that one. This right here is nothing more than just an extra mattress. So if you are having, you know, a sleepover, or, you know, bringing like a buddy with you, something like that, you can drop a mattress right there on the floor and kind of close this off for a third person. So this is going to be kind of the 2-bedroom section of it, 2 different twin beds. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. So make sure you drop a comment and let me know. The nice thing about this too is up on the roof in here, you are going to have a 15K AC. So this room will get super chilly. You're also going to get an additional 15K AC along with the Furrion Chill Cube, which is going to be an 18K. So a ton of, you know, cooling power in something this size. So it'll be really nice for you people that are down in, you know, Florida and Texas and things like that. You got the Dracula shade, stop the old skin from sizzling, keep some nosy eyes out. And then when you turn around, it is still a really nice and functional floor plan. So you have dual opposing slides to give you a little bit of moving and grooving room. You're also going to have a smaller style table than typical. So usually there's like an island or something like that in the middle. But you have this for a really great place to sit down, have a meal. I also like how you have kind of the Olympic lighting there. And then you have another slide over here, which is going to be, you know, your cooking and of course your entertainment. So a fireplace to keep you nice and a roasty and a toasty. Puts out about 5,000 BTUs of heat. So in an RV this size, it'll heat up the entirety of this room or the bunk room if you have the doors open. You're also going to have flush mount floor slides with a slide height sitting at around 6'4" or so, I would say. I'm about 6 foot, 6'1" with the old Birkenstocks on. Right here is going to be a travel lock. So you simply just open that up and now you have yourself a Murphy pantry, you know, a good place for board games, books, maybe just, well, you could put books in there. My wife would stuff that thing with books and crystals. If you guys have seen my videos before. By the way, if you haven't, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button for me. Trying to make the push to 100,000, about to hit 75,000, and pretty darn excited for that for sure. I also, that's pretty cool how they have the two speakers right there, and they're going to be the portable, so you can take it in or out, and they're sitting on a charger, as you see. So if you want some sound outside, pop those bad boys out, and you are ready to rock. You have a little bit of accent lighting here up above the refrigerator. So if you want to put in a couple bottles of wine or your olive oil or whatever you might do with that, if you're someone that likes to, you know, drink a couple drinks down at the campground, baby, have a cold can of apple juice. You got a place to put those suckers, your Bourbonias. Freezer on the left, refrigerator on the right. It's going to be a 12 volt, so, you know, battery, solar, truck when you're driving down the road, things like that will help keep that thing nice and juiced up. Solid surface countertops. Babe, if you're watching, I love you. And then, of course, you got the 3-top burner to whip up all the fixins, along with an oven, you know, big enough for like chicken or something of that nature. Maybe some, you know, cookies or pizzas. Nice little storage section. I don't know if I opened up that. But I'll tell you, Impression is, I guess, making an impression on a lot of people because they're one of those brands that every time I seem to post it, they get a lot of views, they get a lot of likes, they get a lot of comments, and they are selling like crazy across the country. But they look really nice. Again, they're going to be cost effective. And I'll see if I can find an MSRP for you to toss up on the screen. But since it is brand new, that might be hard to come by. They're also using the TikTok sink, baby. So you got yourself, you know, a cup cleaner, soap dispenser, waterfall with the high-rise faucet. Whoosh, 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 hitting those dishes from all angles. And then, come on, you got yourself a dishwasher. No floor vents in this model, so you'll notice you have ducted heat right there. They're also using a pretty nice size furnace. And so with that furnace, you're also going to get heated and enclosed underbellies as well. And you have your 12 volt pads on the tanks there too. I did not open one of the drawers. I'll open one of those so you can see the depth here in a second. A pull out kind of pantry style seating right here. And again, you know, the 6'4", 6'5" tall high slides is going to leave you with a ton of viewing space. So if you're someone that values that, you'll be in good hands there. You can get a really nice breeze coming through this guy. It's also an emergency exit again, so pull, push, and plop. You get out in a hurry. And then they have, you know, the little nighttime curtains where you can get, again, some privacy. Not quite the Dracula shades, but they do the same job. So let's see right here. Okay, so you have a pull-out sofa. I'd imagine that's probably you're going to move the chairs. You'll probably go to about there from my experience with those. Cup holders on both sides, again, for your drinks. And then I love how you have the kind of the big fluffy spot to sit back, chill, and relax. I'm sitting just to the left of it, and this is going to be your view all the way from the right. So you notice the table doesn't intrude on that view. Again, the Furrion Chill Cube. A lot of guys are going with that. The reason why you go with that over some of the other stuff is a lot of ACs, you can't run all three at once. But with the two 15Ks and one 18K, not only do you get more AC, but you can actually run all three at once. So it's going to be, again, a really nice benefit for that. The Steamer Stink Sucker 3000 right there on the roof. And then these are the drawers that I kind of skipped over. So perfect place, you know, for all of your junk. Got a little shoe storage, as you can see from the shoe storage sticker, making life nice and easy. And then you can see also the vent going into some of that pass-through storage. So that way, you know, stays a little bit more climate controlled for you. Fuse box right as you walk in the door. There's the control for that steam sucker. And then you have the USB Universal C, the power control for your Furrion as well. And then if you're snuggling up with honey buns, you trap the kids in the bunk room, you tied the door handles, they're not going anywhere. And now you can dim it down and get a little private times with honey buns, baby. Having yourself a good old time. Setting the mood right, baby. So right here, you got your dual awnings, and then you have your slide out controls, along with your different lighting controls right there as well, with your some of your tank meters too. And then there's the tank heater button, so your water tank, and then you know, your gray tank. Obviously, you're probably not heating up the black tank because that would be kind of gross. You're also, well, maybe you do. Heck, I don't know. I'm not educated on this. Do you heat up the blank tank? Why am I blanking on that? One thing that they are doing, though, is the 60K Suburban. So what's nice about that is it's going to be a warmer shower for you for longer. So they did a run rate on a 20-pound propane tank, and it ran 10 hours continuously. So if all you are doing is using the hot water for whatever reason, you can take a 10-hour shower, which is pretty nice. The bathroom is, you know, pretty much of average size for a lot of your fifth wheels. However, I do like how it goes down just a little bit deeper right here. So I'm assuming the head height on this is going to be pretty nice. Now this is a mid-profile RV. That's why we're sitting at 11,500 pounds. And they managed to still get about 6'5" right into here, and then about 6'1" to 6'2" right over there. You also have the Tri-Glide Glass Series, so it opens up a little bit bigger for the roundies to enjoy. And then you can see a place to, you know, hike your foot up. You also got a place, you know, store a towel in me. And then you flip it around, you got the backlit mirror, perfect place to show off the old bowling gun, baby. What do you guys think about this hat, too? Pretty cool hat. I forgot my RV Hunter hats. So I said, hey, unless you want me wearing a Keystone hat, I need a hat from you. Now I wish I would have asked for 10 because they're pretty slick. Stainless steel here, outlets over there, and then you got little cubby storage, and then, of course, access to all your plumbing and a little bit more storage as well. Now off into the bedroom, you have your slide controls right here along with your VersaTilt control for there. If you're new to the fifth wheel world, VersaTilt is what puts that bed up. So it's a 17-inch lift, and basically in turn what it does is it moves this probably, well, maybe 17 inches, but it feels like a little bit more, maybe 2 feet, I don't know. But it allows you to have some daytime space when you're moving around. Now if this was down, you would see 2 windows that open up that also feature the Dracula shades, and they have shelves as well. Plus you have all the plugins, again, the USB, the Universal C, the 2 regular outlets, control for your Zone 3, which is going to be the bedroom for this AC and your heat. It's also got a dump valve on the ACs as well. So if you're going to be spending a little bit more time here in the bedroom, open this up. It'll disproportionately push the cool air here into the bedroom. Flip it around. You know, you got a place for your TV backer, which there's going to be your indicator for that, as well as your plugins. Plus, you got yourself a dresser. I mean, come on. If you got boxers, you got socks, you got shirts, you're good to go. Dracula no more. Frying the skin, baby. Now, step 1. Okay. Opens up again, emergency exit or Rooney. And then you have a latch for the door right there. And it opens you up into a pretty nice sized closet. You know, nothing insane, but you can hang up, you know, a couple weeks worth of clothes, no problemo. And then you have that little front area with your plugins for your washer and dryer prep. So if you want to have a more residential experience, you can put the washer and dryer into there. But I mean, what do you guys think? I think this is pretty darn neat. It's definitely unique. I'm going to give you one more little look here at that bunk room just to kind of, you know, set it in. But it's also going to be nice to show you with the awnings down. I mean, look at that. I mean, what the heck is that? That is some bonkers stuff. But all right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the inside portion of the tour. I'm never going to head around on the outside. Again, it's the 2026 Impression 36 BR3. Sleep 6 to 8, 3 bedrooms, a hidden pantry, and a king bed. I did forget to mention the king bed up front. So once again, assuming that I have them, which I should, all the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, will be down in the description, along with a link for Funtown RV. Hopefully you can't hear that train squealing like a pack of Wolverines. That is loud as can be. Holy smokes. A molded fiberglass front cap, and I like the fact they have the LEDs a little bit more than a lot of brands. This gives it a really kind of cool and different kind of look. You know, when you're backing up to hook up, or if you're down at the campground, it's just shining up like justice. I like that little road kind of going through those like trees or bushes or whatever the heck you want to call it. They use the Rhino pin box, so kind of your basic middle of the road, you know, kind of entry level, what you call it, pin box there. And then right here, you got room for 2 batteries. You also have your spare tire, and then your battery hookups will be right over there as well. You're also going to get the electric jacks for this, and it does look like they are the auto leveling, but I think they have a manual option too, so you might want to talk to your salesperson, make sure. But you got your little cold can of apple juice opener right there, linoleum flooring, and again, it is going to be heated underbelly with the alumifoil up here as well. Solar charge controller, I'm not sure what kind of solar's up top, but I would think 100, 200 watts, you know, something of that nature. Satellite hookup, and then your outlets right there, maybe for an outside TV. Framed in windows, and then they're using the Solera 2000 series for the awnings. So that will be, oh my God, that is so loud. I hope this is not blasting your guys' ears out. I do apologize for the, I don't know why I apologize, but I'm recording during a train track, apparently. Train meet. Basically, those will be 12-volt awnings, and I like the fact that they have the soft glow lights there up underneath of each one. So you can't really see that one because the way that the slide is sitting right now. Extended season packaged. So again, the forced heated and enclosed underbelly, 12-volt heat pads, upgraded insulation. That's going to be in the floor and the roof. Industry's largest furnace, so it'll again provide you more heat. And then the accessibelly as well is pretty darn nice. So it's going to be basically 6-foot paneling. So that way if something happens, you can, you know, just unload one section as opposed to the whole underbelly, which is nice. You know, if something does happen, try to make it go with the least expensive option possible. Little LP quick connect right there if you're going to do a little bit of outside grilling. This does seem to be locked right here, but it's an outdoor, probably an outdoor kitchen. I'll see if I can get a picture from something like that. That would be nice to have that open. You're also going to have your towing package on this. So a 2-inch receiver, 3,000-pound tow rating, 300-pound hitch rating with a 4-way pin connection as well. And then that is going to be locked too. Shoot. So Lippert on-the-go ladder system, so you can get on top of your roof, you know, check your seals, check your slides, do what you got to do there. And then your backup camera prep, so you can see what's going on behind you with some distance markers. And hopefully I overlay some videos on that, because I'm going to go and talk to them to make sure. I got to give the people what they want, give the people what they deserve, baby. Over the slides, you are eligible to put a slide topper if you would like. It's basically a piece of awning that goes from here to here, and it prevents debris from falling on top of your unit. And then you're also going to have, let's see where the tanks are. So right there, I'll show you that kind of underbelly right there. That's what I'm talking about, that little paneling. So anytime you see where it has that little ridge on there, that's going to be the accessibelly. So for other brands, if you're comparing. Back end of the furnace, so it's nice to have an access panel for your maintenance. And then this is going to be your Suburban on-demand hot water heater right there. Your 50-amp cord connection. And then here on the back is going to be your docking station, and the other side of that pass-through storage. So you see hot and cold water in the form of an outside shower, your city water connection, fresh water connection, your different antifreeze inlets and all that for winterization. And then of course, you know, all your satellite and cable hookups. Propane over here behind this door. And then we already saw the front storage. But all right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Again, my name is Hunter, and this is the 2026 Impression 36 BR3. Drop some comments. Let me know what you think. Hope to see you next time. See ya. Applause, applause.